The Boston Celtics have just made two very sneaky signings by signing a new G League head coach and signing our last Exhibit 10 contract to a former Maine Celtic. This is another episode of Celtics Digest, man. I'm your host, Godfrey Sympre, and be prepared for another episode. We thank you guys for all the support you guys have been giving us. And don't forget to subscribe for all your latest Celtics news, trades, rumors, everything far and in between, man. Without further ado, let's get started. The Celtics have just signed Jordan Schakel to an Exhibit 10 contract. Now, Jordan Schakel was playing for the Maine Celtics last year, played a couple of games, and honestly was pretty decent. Averaged 13 points per game, 5.2 rebounds last year for the Maine Celtics. He's 26 years old. He's a combo guard, could play point guard or shooting guard. It's shown that he played 4 years at San Diego State, then was undrafted to the Washington Wizards. He was injured for a little bit of last year at the end of the season, but when he did play pretty well. He's a good sharpshooter. He can shoot from deep. Does need to work on a few little things, but he definitely could be a player that could grow. Obviously, he's on the older side of it. He's 26 years old. He's currently in his prime, and being in your prime with the Maine Celtics, hopefully he can develop his skills into being good at one thing, because when you are at that age, you're kind of on the outside edge of the league. But being signed to an Exhibit 10 contract is a great thing for him to see how he's going to shape up during training camp and if the Celtics could use him. Now, that does bring us to our maximum capital of Exhibit 10 contracts that we can give out, with giving one out to Lonnie Walker, Ron Harper, Tristan Enura, and Schakel. So this means, with the possibility of us signing Jay Scrubb when he's fully healthy to another Exhibit 10 contract, that we are going to have to release one of these guys and possibly just either give them a contract with the Maine Celtics, or just they're no longer going to be playing for our team. Now, the plan has been for Jay Scrubb to sign an Exhibit 10 contract when he is fully healthy. So we don't know which one of these players. It probably depends on how they play during training camp, what could happen to which one to these players. Now, the good thing is that if these players are waived, they're non-guaranteed contracts, so they can be waived at any time, and they will receive a bonus if they spend a certain amount of time with the Maine Celtics. What that possibly means is Schakel is probably going to be spending his season with the Maine Celtics in the next season, which is a pretty good thing for him. He's going to be able to continue to play basketball, grow his skills, and possibly, we don't know, he may be called up to the Celtics at some point, but who knows? We have a long season ahead of us. Now, the next thing I want to bring up and talk to you guys about is the major signing. The Maine Celtics announced Tyler Lashbrook as their new head coach. Now, Tyler Lashbrook, he was a Celtics player developmental on the Celtics player developmental staff last season. He's replacing Blaine Mueller, who joined Charles Lee's staff in Charlotte. Now, Charles Lee's staff in Charlotte has got a lot of Celtics previous that were on the staff, previous guys that are on the staff. Now, that staff is going to be looking very good, I think, and they're going to be able to elevate Charlotte from being one of those teams that are finishing at the bottom ranks of the Eastern Conference to hopefully moving them up. The good thing is, Lashbrook, he brings a lot of player developmental style to the team and to the Maine Celtics that are going to be able to grow these guys that are going to be playing with the Maine Celtics in the next season. A guy like Schakel, if he stays. A guy like Anton Watson, if he spends any time up there. So I definitely think this is a great announcement to be made. Now, this is just another picture just showing Tyler Lashbrook has been signed. Now, I think this is a great move, because when you have guys that are already with the Celtics already and you just move them up, give them this promotion, I think it's a great look, because you already have that continuity. And I think that's the biggest thing. Having that continuity for players is a major thing. Knowing that nothing's really changing from one side to the other shows that these players are going to be used to these coaches, and that's a good thing. You know, once these players have these coaches that they're used to, they're able to play more free and develop. So if they can develop into these core rotation pieces in the future, that's the best thing that you can get out of these G League guys. Now, there's this quote I wanted to show you from Joe Mazzulla that talks about Tyler, saying Tyler is a great coach who excels in relationship management and communication. Now, that is perfect. When you're looking for one of these coaches to hire for your G League teams, you need someone that's going to be able to talk to these players, because all these players have this one goal. They all want to make it to the NBA. Now, we don't know how possible that's going to be, whether or not, they get injured. You need a coach that's going to be there for them at all times. And it's a long season. The G League season is long and stressful because you're not playing for a lot. We've seen the salaries and how all of that works together. You're in some of the most random parts of the country, and it's hard for those players to really stick it out. So I'm definitely excited to see what Tyler can bring to the team. And looking at this quote even more, last season he had led our late game situational prep and took the lead on developing some of our younger players. I'm excited for Tyler to have this opportunity to grow as a coach and a leader and to impact the main team and community. Now, seeing that he's already had this coaching experience, this leadership experience is the best way I would want to put it. This leadership experience, it's great to see. Knowing that he's been with the younger guys and the developmental guys already, knowing that he's going to be that person that's going to very much lead them to their next steps in their career is what I would like to see and what I'm very much happy to see. Now, at the bottom of this quote, it says, Lashbrook's coaching staff will be led by Steve, uh, Taj Ridley, Landon Tatum, and Brendan Baker as assistant coaches. Now, that's a great looking staff that's going to be up there in Maine, and I'm super excited to catch a couple of these games and see possibly what could be brought out and what players that we don't know that's already on the main roster that could possibly, show up and show out. I'm very much excited. And, we've seen that Lashbrook is a player developmental coach during the 2023-2024 championship season. He previously had the same role for the 76ers for 5 years, which is a long time. And then before that, he was a basketball operations intern and video coordinator. So we see he has this experience being in that realm with all the guys, knowing what to do in certain situations. He has player developmental coaching roles. So knowing that, it's going to be very great to see that he's going to be able to know how to lead the guys and bring them to where they need to be. Now, the biggest thing in this episode, guys, is we have signed Jordan Schakel to an Exhibit 10 contract, possibly going to be playing up in Maine for the next upcoming season. Jay Scrubb is still on people's minds. We don't know whether or not he's going to be on the team, but all that we know is that it's very much a given that he's going to sign an Exhibit 10 contract when he is fully healthy. And Tyler Lashbrook is the new head coach up in Maine. I'm very excited to see how he performs in the beginning of the season with those new guys, with all the guys that are going to be playing up in Maine this year. This is another episode of Celtics Digest. I'm your host, Godfrey Sympre. Subscribe if you're new, and I'm out. Thank you, guys.